Dynasty peeps, what is up? It's good to be with you tonight. We're happy that you've joined us. We're going to be talking Dynasty Fantasy Football tonight. It is always a great time to talk Dynasty Fantasy Football. So drop all of your comments in the comment section. Drop a like. And if you play Dynasty, drop a subscription because we are obviously going to be bringing you Dynasty content all year long. We're trying to build our channel, trying to get to 10,000 subscribers here in the next couple months, maybe in the next, into the summer. That's kind of our goal. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. And like I said, let's talk Dynasty. So drop your questions. Drop your Dynasty questions. Anything Dynasty you've got in the comments, we're going to go through. Super chats, obviously, are going to be the ones we answer first. We're going to give those priority because we get a lot of comments on these things. So we do appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and we'll go through and answer those right away. But lots happening in the Dynasty circle right now. There's lots to talk about. We did just get finished recording a podcast. So if you haven't already, go head over to the podcast channel and give it a follow because we're going to have some new podcasts coming out. And we have another Dynasty episode coming out tonight. Some rookies. We give you, I think, 5 or 6 rookies that you should be going and buying right now. There are rookies that, not all rookies produce right away in the NFL, and people just forget this. So now we have told you, you need to go buy these rookies. That video is going to be coming out tonight, but appreciate you guys all joining us. Like I said, drop all your questions. We're going to go through as many of these as we can, and we're going to prioritize the super chats like we normally do. We're going to stay with you guys as long as you guys want to talk Dynasty. So appreciate each and every one of you. Vice Envy's here, and he's got all the hand emojis that everybody likes to use. We appreciate you, Vice Envy. Mana Cole's here, says he was just offered. I've got to skip Mana Cole and go down to Oscar. Oscar, thank you for our first super chat of the night. We appreciate you, my friend. You have been a great supporter of the channel. We love you so much. Appreciate what you guys do. You guys are legit. Thank you so much, Oscar.
Very much appreciate you,
are
man.
Awesome.
You did have a question before that, though, and we'll help you out there. Full PPR, 10 teams, start 1, JSN, Higgins, Christian Watson. Not Christian Watson, we'll tell you that.
Probably not.
Christian Watson, we could look like idiots if he ends up having a great week, but there's literally nothing that Watson's done that makes you comfortable starting him. He's got to do it until we're comfortable starting him. So with who are you taking at JSN and Higgins? I got to go Higgins.
I'll probably go Higgins personally. Yeah. And they play the
they're playing the Niners, and it's a tough matchup.
It's tough.
But the Seahawks are playing the Browns, and I think DK will be back from injury, which is why JSN had such a great week. So
True.
I think you got to be looking at the target volume that Higgins has been getting. And yeah, even though he hasn't turned that into fantasy points and not even receptions sometimes, he does have the upside of 28 points in a week. So
I do think the Packers matchup isn't bad. So if you want to shoot for the stars and go Christian Watson, you can. But everything's pointing to
they're playing the Vikes, right?
Yeah. So
I think Dubs will just tear it up more than Watson does.
It might be true. And honestly, everything's kind of pointing right now towards T. Higgins coming back and having at least somewhat of a bounce-back game.
Well, he also is coming off a bye week where he finally got to fully heal up from his rib injury. And, I don't know if anyone in this group that's listening right now has ever broken their ribs, but imagine playing football with a broken rib or 2 or 3. That is impressive stuff to play through, especially as a wide receiver when your money is made with your route running and precision and whatnot. And for him, he's probably just on the field trying to breathe and trying not to black out from the pain. So I think he's going to be a lot better this week, and I think they'll have to lean on him.
Oscar, my friend, we appreciate you so much. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Yeah, man.
I know you're a member here. We see your YouTube comments a lot. We love having you on the show. We do appreciate you. Man of Cole, another guy that we super appreciate, another guy that we love having around. He's been around for a long time, Man of Cole. He's been here for a while. Was offered Justin Jefferson for Swift, Addison, 24 first, and a 25 first. Okay, this is interesting.
Well, you want me to just tell you what deal I got done for JJ?
Yeah, you can tell. I'm actually tempted to negotiate. I've already got Bijan, JT, CD, JSN, and Downs. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I think you should be tempted to negotiate, and I think if that's the initial offer, then that person's going to be willing to go down a bit. So I would definitely, I mean, straight up, I'm not accepting that offer right off the bat. I am looking to pay a little bit less. I did see a deal go down just recently that was Addison and 2 firsts straight up for Justin Jefferson. Obviously there I'm going to take Justin Jefferson, but what's going on? Oh, obviously you're taking Justin Jefferson, but ultimately I think let me just tell you about the deal that I made because it was kind of crazy. Rashee Rice, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, DeAndre Swift, and Tank Dell I gave up, and in return I got Nick Chubb and Justin Jefferson. So that may be abnormal. It may be very abnormal. I think that was kind of a steal that I got for Justin Jefferson, but Swift, Addison, 224 first. If you're giving up Swift, try to get a couple seconds in return, or even try to get a throw-in player, like someone who's injured for the rest of the season, like Nick Chubb, for example, like an older running back, kind of like that. If you can get, again, some of these rookies that haven't been producing at a super high level, like a QJ, like if you could get him in return, I'd definitely be into doing that deal for sure, but I think it's a good starter. Love that you have Bijan and JT, CD, JSN, and Downs as well. I think that's a really good offer. Next question here is going to be from Video Walkthroughs. Keep on rocking. Y'all are the best. Sit 2. Appreciate you, man. Sit 2. Wilson, Addison, Smith, Higgins, and Stevenson. I think we're going to sit, of those guys, we'll sit Higgins because he still does offer some big question marks here. And then we'll sit... I think we're going to sit Ramondre Stevenson as well. Addison, obviously, you can't sit him after the game that he put up against San Fran this last Monday. Devonta Smith has a great friendly matchup against Washington, so you're going to want to be starting him as well, even though he's alongside A.J. Brown. And then Garrett Wilson, he's been getting some really consistent target volume, so we're excited to see what he can do this week in a matchup that's relatively friendly against the Giants. And obviously, he's the only guy that Zach Wilson can really throw to. So, yeah.
Easy Money Sicilian says, my guys, what's up, Easy Money Sicilian? Good to see you, man. Glad to join us tonight. They Fear Him says, no, bro, JJ's keeper. I'm assuming he's talking about the trade up there. Yeah. And I think we pretty much agree with him.
Yeah. You got to take JJ. I think Manicola was getting JJ there.
Yeah. So I think
dyslexic.
Yeah. Pater says, needing a running back to solidify my roster in Dynasty. I have a 24-second, 25 first and second. Who should I target this week to get on my team? I'm assuming that means you're contending. Contending guys for a 24-second. I mean, I would try to go get David Montgomery for 2 seconds. He's one of the biggest running back buys that will solidify your Dynasty team right now. He's a great value on a great contract, getting great production, getting great red zone carries on a very good offense. Right now, I don't think anybody's going to be asking or paying a first for David Montgomery. So if you can go move those seconds for David Montgomery, I think that's a great move. If you're rebuilding, you obviously don't need a running back. I'm assuming you're contending there. But great question. Our guy Christopher says, Jacobs, A.J. Brown, and Ayuk. For Trevor Lawrence, Bijan Olave. Good deal or nah? I'm pretty easily taking the Trevor Lawrence side there.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if this is fantasy, if he's talking about fantasy football standard, I'm probably I'm still going to Bijan and Olave side.
Probably the best player in that.
AJ Brown's the best player in that
trade,
deal for sure. Jacobs hasn't been playing well. Ayuk. Actually, I'd probably give the edge to AJ Brown.
We're going to assume it's Dynasty because we're on our Dynasty channel. Matthew says Jonnu Smith and a third for Jaylen Warren. I'll take Jaylen Warren there pretty easily.
Yep.
Sebastian says, I took over a rebuild team and a 10-team tight end premium. Almost sure I have the 101 next year, late 24 first, too late 24 first, the 201, 202 late second. Richardson, Ritter, Howell, Downs, Rasheed, Pitts, Judy. Okay. So then you also said Mike Wilson, QJ Dotson. Oh, your whole roster. I have all my 25 picks, 2 extra 25 firsts, and a picks I have. Okay. So then go after the 102. And if so, what should I give up to do it? Or should I try to trade picks and players to get young guys already in the league? I'm not sure I would go after the 102. I mean, if you can get the 102 for anything cheaper than like a top 2 dynasty startup, like round dynasty startup pick, then yeah, you're doing that. I'm not necessarily. I think I'm kind of staying put. All those picks are going to accumulate in value. You're obviously rebuilding, like you said, so I think I'm riding those assets out. You've got some good assets there that are going to appreciate in value. I don't think I would be targeting the 102. And I think the person that has the 102 would charge a very, very high price for a good reason. So I'd probably say stay put. Let's jump down to Evan's comment here. Evan says, what are your thoughts on Drake London at this point? Surely a hold, but this has been him with a terrible QB, still buying. I mean, I think if people are still down on Drake London, heck yeah, I'm buying. I mean, even with and yes, you're right, he's not been good. But even in the last couple weeks, let's look at Drake London's production in the last couple weeks. This is fairly promising for even him playing with Desmond Ridder. But in the last 4 games, I think, 7 targets, 12 targets, 9 targets, 7 targets, and even the second and third games of the season, 8 targets and 6 targets.
Yep.
So he's getting the target volume. He's actually getting the production. 11 points, 21 points, 14 points, 11 points. He's the wide receiver 30 right now. It's 12 points a game. But yeah, I mean, he's doing this with Desmond Ridder as his quarterback. So if he can do this with Desmond Ridder as his quarterback, then what's he going to do? Desmond Ridder's not the quarterback there long term. What will he do when they bring in somebody next year, when they draft somebody? Next year would be a perfect year for the Falcons to go out and get a quarterback.
Are they going to be in position to, though, if they win their division?
I don't freaking know. I don't know.
They may be in QB purgatory, and that's obviously going to be the biggest concern with any weapon there outside of Bijan Robinson. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? I think maybe they can.
What are you doing with Drake London right now?
I mean, maybe they get Justin Fields, but that doesn't help any receiver in that offense. Maybe they get Kyler Murray if the Cardinals want to go get Caleb Williams. Like, maybe that's possible.
He's the wide receiver 19 on Keep Trade Cut right now.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I would still be buying Drake London. I think Drake London, when he's healthy, is a top 12 dynasty wide receiver.
I think that's a good price where he is right now.
So you're not buying there.
It doesn't mean I'm not buying. I mean, I may take him at that price in case he does go back up in value, but I do think that's pretty reasonable for
short term.
What his situation is
short
right
term,
now.
it is. I think long term.
I mean, even long term though, if they win the division this year, they're not getting a quarterback unless they trade up like the Panthers did. Like, it's not happening.
I mean, yeah, there's that.
Or they
I
trade
don't know.
for Kyler.
There are going to be some quarterbacks this year that don't go in the first 5 picks. Like, there are going to be some probably late first.
And are they worth going in the middle of the first round?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably an upgrade from Desmond Ridder. So, I think right now it's appropriate. I still think he's going to be higher than this. So, and Drake London, don't forget he has top 10 draft capital.
I like Drake London's price a lot more now than I did going into this year,
where he was the wide receiver 11. He was never going to be the wide receiver 11 in Dynasty, or in Fantasy this year. So that was a little bit too rich for us. But so to answer your question, yeah, I mean, especially if you're like on a long-term rebuild, yeah, I definitely would buy Drake London here. I mean, as a contender, you're probably not buying Drake London.
No,
but I could see you buying Drake London if you need to. He's flexible, and at the wide receiver 19, he's got some room to go up, so he's not a bad investment.
I mean, with this volume in one of the worst situations possible, he's still doing pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely not like a sell.
No, definitely not.
But good question. Yeah. Brandon says rebuilding. 12-team Superflex. You were offered C.J. Stroud for one of your projected top 5, 24 first, and a mid 25. Yeah, smash that. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Please. Dude, can somebody offer me that? Holy cow. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually funny right now in Dynasty. I've been getting a ridiculous amount of offers for C.J. Stroud. People thinking that they're going to jip me and be able to pay a single first and go get C.J. Stroud. I'm like, bro, I'm not even giving him to you for 2 firsts. Like, what are you smoking right now? Like, why would you think that I'm going to see C.J. Stroud and what he's been doing for the first 7 weeks of his NFL career and actually seriously punt on him as a talent and just get another top 5 24 first? Like, why would I ever do that? It's ridiculous. Don't be that person.
Yeah. Next question.
Sebastian says,
no.
Oh, Steve says, half
What's up,
PPR, Downs, Marquise Brown, Cooper, Deontay, flex spot. So assuming you have to pick one here, we're going to go Marquise Brown there.
Yeah.
I think of those guys, our second option would probably be Josh Downs.
Yeah. Do you guys think Dalvin Cook will get traded? And do you think Fournette will land on a team?
I don't think Dalvin gets traded.
Dalvin's cooked.
No one is going to give anything up for him. Like, he should be out of the league after this year.
Yeah, I agree. He looks freaking awful.
Yeah.
Fournette? Probably not. I don't know, but I would think if somebody needed or wanted him now, they would have already picked him up.
I think, who did he just work out with recently?
I don't even know. I stopped keeping track of it. I thought for sure he'd be signed before the season started.
Yeah, me too.
So
I took him here and there in best ball.
I did too.
Just in case.
I did too.
Yeah.
Uncle Baby Billy. What's up, Uncle Baby Billy? We got offered a trade for DJ Moore. They offered Debo and Miles Sanders. I'm 5-2. Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm good with that for DJ Moore. Don't forget, Miles Sanders has some longer-term insulation because of his contract, as does Debo. Max says 12-team start, 10 Superflex tight end premium. I'm rebuilding and looking to get rid of some of my running backs. So you've got Javonte, Ramondre, Pierce, Sanders, Spears, and Warren. Who to keep, and then what are realistic moves? So you're rebuilding. So on a rebuilding team right now, you're getting rid of, number one, I think you're getting rid of Ramondre Stevenson, Dameon Pierce, and Miles Sanders. I'm fine keeping Javonte, Spears, and Warren. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree there.
Yeah. Those are the guys I would be trading away. Let's jump down to Emmanuel here. Emmanuel, we appreciate your super chat, my friend. Good to see you. Question to the world. Do you like winning your Dynasty League? Do you enjoy looking at your team and thinking, damn, that's nice? Do yourself a favor, like and subscribe. Happy Friday, gentlemen. Dude, our guy.
Appreciate you, man.
Baby Yoda. We appreciate you, my
Baby
friend.
Yoda.
He has been a friend of ours over on the Discord as well. So if you aren't on the Discord, flockfantasy.com/domain. He's gotten a number of team blueprints from us and team podcasts. We literally are constantly helping him out. And he said that his teams are fairly good. So if you haven't, flockfantasy.com/domain to get your own team blueprint. Do we have a team blueprint we can put on the screen real quick, Sam?
Oh, maybe.
I will put up a question, though, that he just asked me in the Discord, I think earlier today. I haven't seen it yet. He said...
I'm in the middle of my ad read.
Okay, fine.
So there's a blueprint on the screen.
Yeah.
All right, if you want one of these team blueprints, then, like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain, and you choose a MotherFlocker tier, you can get one of these. It gives you a good idea of what your Dynasty team, how it's built right now. It gives you a 3-year outlook for your team. We'll grade all your position groups, give you a depth score, give you draft capital grades, all of that. So, again, if you have a Dynasty team and you either don't know what to do with it or you want to take it to the next level, we are definitely encouraging you. Flockfantasy.com/domain. Join the community, choose a MotherFlocker tier, get a blueprint. Appreciate our guy, Emmanuel, too. And what did he ask today?
He asked me, a buddy of mine told me the Dynasty nerds are telling folks to buy Tyjae Spears for a late 24 first straight up.
No, they're
Thoughts?
not. No, they're not.
Dynasty nerds are the granddaddy of Dynasty fantasy football podcasts.
One of our inspirations.
One of our inspirations, actually. We have a lot of run takes. A lot of people have a lot of run take. That's a run take. No, absolutely not. You're taking your
assuming they
24
said
first.
that.
Assuming they said that.
I mean, they could end up being right. We would say that we don't think Tyjae is going to be worth who you can be getting in that
I would say if they did say that, I can hear their reasoning for that right now, and it probably is that they're anticipating Derrick Henry is getting traded by Tuesday, and if that's the case, everyone's looking at the way the Titans run their offense, and it's like, oh my gosh, Tyjae Spears is going to go off. That's actually possible, and he is a very good player, but you're looking at Tyjae Spears long-term and his injury history. I think he's torn his ACL twice.
Yeah, and
in his career,
he doesn't even have an ACL.
He doesn't have an ACL. He doesn't have a.
I don't think that matters.
Cartilage.
But it's much like even if Derrick Henry were to get traded, you could still, even after the trade, after Tyjae Spears' value go up, you could still go get him for that price.
Yeah.
So why give it to why go pay it now?
Because even though we liked Tyjae Spears a lot as a prospect going into this year, like there was only so much upside that he was going to offer long term, and I think the Titans, if they do move on from Henry, like. What are the chances they go and they draft another running back next season anyways?
Yeah.
Probably pretty high. Or even in 2025 if they don't do it next year, because in 2024 the running back class isn't looking very strong. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of doing that at all. And that would be a contender. Like if you're a contender, would you pay a 24 first for Tyjae Spears? No, definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
Still, Emmanuel, man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being a part of the community. Like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain if you want to join over there. With a ton of people, we got lots of questions right now. We're going to jump back up, keep going through these. Super chats are going to jump the line. So if you have a question you really want an answer, we're going to jump ahead to super chats. But let's jump back up to the top here and keep going through these questions that we have. I believe we are...
Did we answer
Max
Lee?
Yeah.
I'm
What's up, Lee?
contending someone in rebuild offering me Diggs and a 25-second for Puka. Yes, take it. You're getting Stephon Diggs as a contender. Absolutely doing that.
Yes.
Tempted, but what do you think? Yeah. We're not tempted. We're doing that.
Yeah.
I think Puka Nacua, obviously, did we talk about him in Dynasty this week?
I'm not sure we did.
Okay. Maybe it was in Fantasy. I don't know. Puka Nacua is absolutely legit. We're not shorting what he's done in any way. And I think in Dynasty Fantasy Football, you're going to look at him next season, and he'll probably be a top 4 round Dynasty startup pick, and maybe even top 3. And he should be. He absolutely should be.
Yeah.
But I think you're looking at him long term in that situation, and the fact that I think a lot of his production is dependent on Matt Stafford. I mean, Matt Stafford could retire after this year. Who knows how long he's going to last? Who knows how long he's going to be healthy? It's really tough. But what's his ceiling really going to be value-wise when you can get Stephon Diggs as a contender who's tied to Josh Allen for the next 3 to 4 years?
That's very true. Yeah.
Taking Diggs there.
Yep, good question. Let's jump down to Jeff's question. Jeff says 12-team Superflex rebuilding is Herbert, Kyler, Stroud. Nice. Should I try to move Stroud for another asset for more picks or just hold all 3 QBs? If you're rebuilding, I'm holding all those guys for sure. Good question.
Yep.
RB says 12-team PPR, 1 QB, 2 flex. What's up, RB? Traded away Puka and Spears for Johnson, a 25 first, and Thielen. Am I crazy? I have Puka in my other Dynasty leagues, want to diversify my asset. I don't blame you for wanting to diversify there. I think you could have gotten a little bit more on that package. That said, you've got value insulation with a rookie wide receiver, a 25 first, and Thielen. I mean, if you were contending, Thielen's a great piece. So I think you could have gotten more. I probably would have leaned Puka there, but I don't think you're crazy, and I don't think it was that bad trade. Jimmy G is actually in our live stream right now.
Whoa, man,
That's
we're
crazy.
brought in so many celebrities.
I know. People are flocking.
Football celebrities, Jimmy G, pretty cool. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. Hope you're not internally bleeding. Total rebuild and have tons of picks over the next 3 years. Only real pieces are Love, Higgins, Laporta. Would you trade Laporta for Roshan, McBride, Burks in a third? No way. Could get Bowers in the draft. If you're selling Laporta for anything, don't short yourself.
Yes.
Please do not take that deal at all. I mean, at this rate, Laporta is going to finish in Dynasty, according to Keep Trade Cut, as a top 3 round pick in Dynasty, and
he's like that. He's been fluctuating at the tight end 1 on Keep Trade Cut.
Yeah.
So no, Jimmy,
no
know
way,
what you've
bro.
got. Know his market value right now, and know that you can get more for him if you want to on that.
Yes, sir.
They fear him says.
They fear him.
Which side you got, bruv? He's probably talking about the guy.
Yeah.
But, let's see where we jump to.
But BTTV FB.
Oh yeah, there we go.
FB
Yeah.
T
Judy
BY BY
Thanks.
Y.
Yeah, I got it. Nathan, Judy or Downs to start this week?
Downs, absolutely.
I'm probably going Downs.
Yeah.
Evan says, thanks for the advice. I'm trying to decide between him, London, and Nico as my wide receiver 3. I got Olave, Chase, Zay Flowers. And see if I enter the playoffs, who's trying to hold long term. Yeah, no, I'm still comfortable holding London there. Good question, though.
Yep.
Dustin. What's up, Dustin?
Hi, Dustin.
Started my rebuild for 2025. Thoughts on Jacobs for JSN and Kittle plus Stevenson for a mid-late 24 first. All right, let's start with the first one. Jacobs or JSN? Rebuild. I'll do JSN there.
JSN in a rebuild by far.
Kittle and Stevenson are a mid-late 24 first.
24 first.
Okay, well, then, yeah, we like those. We like those trades then.
As a rebuild, you don't want to be stuck with Kittle and Stevenson going into next offseason because they're only going to decrease in value. As a team that's looking to contend over the next couple of years and may even, win this year, win next season, I think it may be worth buying Stevenson at a discount at the moment. But if you're a rebuild, now's not the time to get Stevenson.
Yeah. I want to just say 2 things. Number 1, that number right there is the number of our subscribers. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed and you play Dynasty,
XLI?
I do not know. No, it's on this screen.
Oh.
I do not know why you would not subscribe. If you play Dynasty, would you consider subscribing for us? It really helps us out. We're trying to hit 10,000. So, we've got a long way to go. But each and every one of you who subscribes right now, that really helps us out. And we have 32 likes, 60 watching, so drop a like. And drop your question in the comments. We're going to go through and talk Dynasty tonight. And honestly, we're going to go through and answer as many of these as we can. And we're going to obviously prioritize Super Chats as they're going to jump to the front of the line. But we're going to keep moving through this. We appreciate you guys doing those 2 things for us, though. It really helps out the channel. Office Depot says, anyone else going after Olave? I traded Pollard and Elijah Moore for Olave. What? How? Yes, I think Olave is a good buy right now, actually.
Dude.
What?
Good job. I was just giving him a hand.
Oh, yeah. But even Chris Olave, so he's the wide receiver 10. So, but when you look at his, he's gone from, the wide receiver 6, wide receiver 8 to the wide receiver 10.
I'm surprised he's only fallen to the wide receiver 10.
I know. It's honestly been kind of a market correction for Chris Olave, in my opinion. So, I mean, if it's based on what Keep Trade Cut says, then I'm probably still comfortable with his price, honestly. But I'm not selling Olave, probably, which they fear him says they sold Olave. He probably got a haul for him, though. Matthew says Dalton Kincaid top 5 tight end rest of the season.
Rest of season, yeah, I could get behind that.
I'll say top 7.
With the Dawson Knox injury and the fact that the Bills' offense still looks pretty lackluster, like they need all the weapons they can get. And Kincaid has not only gotten target volume, he's like looked really good with that target volume over the last couple weeks. Like not just good, but ready for the load.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go that far. I'll overreact from these last couple weeks.
I want to jump down. Let's jump down to the bottom here, Sam, because Cameron says he's subscribed. So Cameron, we thank you for that. He says bring the other guy back though. He's gonna be back. We're bringing him back. Don't worry.
Yep.
We miss him. He's at school right now though.
Yep.
All right, where are we at here?
Oh, I scrolled down with you. We are at math. Nope.
Wow, that's quite the question.
If Jerry Jeudy gets traded, do you think Marvin Mims becomes a top 30 wide receiver in Dynasty? I don't think so because of his skill set. You're looking at the way Sean Payton is trying to really, tear down the Broncos roster to the studs, and basically all the guys that he likes and drafted or played with him in New Orleans, like Adam Troutman. I think you're looking at the situation, and they're probably going to draft a true alpha wide receiver next year to replace Jerry Jeudy, because they're definitely not re-signing him. Hopefully, they trade him somewhere in the middle of this season, so I can get a return for him when people overhype Jerry Jeudy. But Mims is a deep threat. He's speedy. Maybe he'll be more than that in the future, but I'm trusting what Peyton does next season, and that's probably draft some wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's do Tejas Chaos 30. Flex Gibbs or London from PPR. This week it's got to be Gibbs, I think.
Yep.
CMC, Pollard, Amon-Ra, Puka, Addison, other starting slots. Good lineup. I'm going Gibbs. You saw what he did last week with Montgomery out, and if he gets even half of that, we're good flexing him. So they fear him. Says which side you ussies like Najee, Amari, Connor, or London. So Najee and Amari or Connor and London.
I'll take Connor and London. Because I think at the end of the
take
season,
you're
you're going to be glad that you have London, and you're going to be glad that you have James Conner.
Yep, I agree.
Henry says, outlook on Jahan Dotson heading into future years.
Better than this year,
That's
hopefully.
how I feel about him in redraft right now.
Yeah, yikes. For future years,
Dude.
I hope that they get an actual coach, and I hope that they get – I don't want to dog on Sam Howell because the poor guy's getting obliterated, but I hope they get an actual quarterback, and that Terry McLaurin maybe gets moved off of at some point, because they could get a lot in return for him. Do I think that'll happen realistically? I don't know. I think it just sucks, man, because we know how good of a wide receiver Jahan Dotson is, and he truly is in one of the bottom 3 worst situations long-term from a dynasty value perspective. So value-wise for future years, for the next 2 years, I think he's a top 36 dynasty wide receiver.
Probably.
And it's hard
to see
pretty
right
low.
now.
That's pretty low.
Yeah. AJ0000 says he sold Kamara for Spears, 25 second and a 24 third. What do you think of that?
I would have held Kamara and Spears.
So what if you're... Wait, no, Kamara for Spears.
Oh.
For a 25 second and 20.
Yes, I do like that.
Yeah, if you're rebuilding, I like the Spears side. If you're not, if you're contending, I like Kamara there.
Yes.
Lawn Beast says 10-team Superflex. Oh, what's up, Lawn Beast? Just traded Derrick Henry and Tyler Higbee for Hawkinson. Yeah, my gosh, goodness sakes. Especially if it's tied in premium. But even if it's not, I think you did good.
Holy crap.
Vatican says, thoughts on buying Jeudy and what you guys would pay? Currently not buying Jerry Jeudy. We've said that publicly now. But
the only shares that we own of Jerry Jeudy right now will be off of our roster by the time he goes to another team.
Yep. So I wouldn't be buying Jeudy. If you can get him for like a third, yeah, because then you can resell him. But we're just not confident in him. Good question, though. Yeah. Dr. Ryan Cecil, who is an actual doctor. What's up, Dr. Ryan? He's 2-4, but he has a team that can compete. It's 10 teams, start 10. Lawrence, Howell, Bijan, Devontae Puka, Smith, Addison, London, Ridley, Myers, Laporta. Should I tank? The bottom 4 is a lottery. Oh, gosh, that stinks. And
if it's a lottery...
makes it hard to kind of strategize here.
Yeah. I like the core of your team, man. I mean, who are you getting rid of to tank?
I don't know if that's a... that's a team like that is really could teeter either way. Bijan has to produce more. Javonte has to take a step up. Puka has to continue. Devonta Smith has to take a step up. Addison has to continue. London has to take a step up. Ridley has to take a step up. Myers has to continue.
Right, but all those assets, they're all so young with the exception of Ridley. Like, who are you getting rid of to tank, even if
You're
that was
not.
an option?
So probably just keep riding it out.
Hold out. And when Ridley strings together a couple of really good games, ship him off to a contender. That's the only thing I'd recommend.
Yeah.
Ridley isn't guaranteed to be on the Jags after this season, by the way.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
They don't have to re-sign him. I don't think they'll be able to because Lawrence is going to have to get the bag too.
Yeah.
So the only way he's probably going to want a lot of money, man.
Yeah, that's true. Crazy Madness 999 says Amon-Ra and Ayuk for Hall. I lost it.
For Hall,
Thank you.
DK,
and Christian Watson, who won? Probably
Amon-Ra. I'll take the Amon-Ra.
I'll probably take Amon-Ra there.
Because Amon-Ra and Hall are really in the same tier dynasty value wise, but then you're getting Ayuk and I understand the side for Brees because DK and Christian Watson, you can make an argument that both of them are buy lows right now. But what fantasy upside do they really offer? And the fact that JSN is with Seattle, the fact that Dubs and Reed are both showing out right now in spite of Christian Watson. Like, I actually like Ayuk's value going into this next offseason because it's a contract year and he's probably going to get a nice payday with a different team that isn't San Fran. So, I like that. I think you got a lot more market value upside with Ayuk.
All right, let's jump up to Weapon X here. Weapon X, good to see you, my friend. Glad you have joined us today. You're in a 12-team Superflex. You're 5-2. Good job.
Nice.
Offered CMC, McLaurin, and Marvin Mims for Tyreek and Pollard. Also got offered CMC and Mims for Jacobs and Pollard. Which one do I do? I would definitely lean the Jacobs and Pollard one. Are you doing that, though? So let's talk about the first trade. CMC, that's essentially CMC. McLaurin is less valuable than both Pollard and Tyreek by a significant amount. CMC and Tyreek are probably value adjacent. So I've got to take the Tyreek Pollard side there.
I'd take Tyreek Pollard.
Now, the second one, you got CMC, and Mims is really a throw-in in this deal. He's a good throw-in, but he's a throw-in in this level deal. Jacobs and Pollard, two like 4th, 5th level running backs for like a second. I would want to know. I want to know, Weapon X, what's your running back depth like? Because if you can really afford to give up Jacobs and Pollard and be down a starting running back, a stud running back, then I can see
my
making
biggest,
that move.
Here's my biggest concern. You own CMC, and you're getting offered these running backs and these receivers in Tyreek, in Pollard, and in Jacobs. What I am guessing is that these teams that are offering you these deals are other teams that are trying to make a run for it, that are trying to contend, and they're trying to get that upside with Christian McCaffrey. If you're contending and they're contending, and they're offering that to you, like, I don't know. Personally, I just hold CMC. Like, unless you're getting the Tyreek deal, because the Tyreek deal is nice, but for the Jacobs and Pollard one, like, I don't know, man, because
he would be getting CMC in these deals from what it sounds like.
Oh, he's getting CMC?
I think so. Yeah, he got offered CMC and Mims for Jacobs and Pollard.
So these guys are trying to down tier then.
Yeah,
and they're probably contenders.
Yeah.
That's ugh.
I think I'm probably just it's hard for me not to stay put there.
I'm sticking with your guys,
yeah,
man.
I think I agree with him.
If you're 5-2, like, you've probably had a really good.
So he has Jacobs, Pollard,
a lot of success,
and Kamara as his main running backs.
Jacobs, Pollard, Kamara, and Tyreek.
I think I'm staying put.
That's not a broken roster, man. That's a high upside roster, and yeah,
do you
Jacobs,
have any picks you can trade for Christian McCaffrey? Because
yeah,
I would honestly still trade for him and flex 2 running backs and start 2 running backs.
Yeah. Well, even like Jacobs or Pollard plus a pick, and you get CMC back.
So instead of giving up 2 starting caliber, like star caliber running backs, use one of those running backs and a little bit of draft capital.
Yeah, but again, I don't know if those, assuming those other teams are contenders, I don't know if they'd want to do that.
True,
or maybe
if he's contending, why is he?
Or maybe they own
maybe
they own CMC and they're a bottom 4 or 5 team and they're trying to clear out.
Yeah,
that
sounds more likely to me. Why,
yeah,
because why would this guy now? You just have to think, if the guy is contending, what gives you a better chance of winning? Yeah. And I think you keeping your guys probably does, with Kamara being your third guy.
Unless you can give up a pick to get Christian McCaffrey.
That's a great question and prompted a great discussion. So, Weapon X, man, we appreciate you. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
Let's jump back up.
Office Depot says, Chaos. Did you have the Flex Gibbs or London one? Oh my gosh, I have to sneeze so bad.
I think I said London.
Braden Albello,
Where is Braden's comment?
Waddle, and Brian Robinson for Jacobs and 2024 early first.
I'm taking the Waddle side there. Oh, an early first? Okay, so I would want to know here. 69 people watching. Nice.
Nice.
I would want to know how
Nice.
early this first is. If this really, really is an early first, like if it's like 101, 102, then you're taking the first side for sure. If it's even if it's 105 or beyond, you're taking the Waddle side. That's their answer. That's what we would need to know. That's the important context here. DJ Kennett 242 says MotherFlocker for CD. I'm taking CD there all day.
Yeah.
They fear him says Nathan's so naughty. He is known to be very naughty.
What did I do?
It was when you were reading the one guy's name,
Oh.
I think.
I'm Nate. Hi Nate. I'm Avery.
Hi, Nate.
Who's your favorite running back by? Probably David Montgomery for me.
Austin Eckler for me.
That's a good one too. Mr. Shefloss 87. What's up, Shefloss? Says he sold Connor and Aaron Jones for an early 24 first. What? Is this a good trade? Yes. Yeah, that's a great trade, dude. I mean, think about it. James Conner next year and Aaron Jones are both like at best ninth round picks in Dynasty startups. An early
They
24
won't be
first
that.
is going to be a top 3 round
They'll
Dynasty
be-
startup pick.
They'll be going 13th, 14th round.
Yeah, you fleeced
Yep, good job.
that guy. Good job. Bargustus says, would you sell Dotson for Musgrave in a 1.5 tenant premium? That's an interesting one.
No,
Keeping Dotson.
keeping Dotson there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a good question, though. Lee says, appreciate the advice. Hold or sell A-Chain. And are there any other running backs that you're actively targeting? Let's check in on Devon A-Chain real quick.
Is he still RB, what was it,
4.
That's
Did he get as high as 3? I know he was
crazy.
well over Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, so let's look. He's the RB7 right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is more reasonable. He's still
'cause
above
of the
Jonathan
injury.
Taylor. If you can get Jonathan Taylor, I'm doing that. If you can get Devonta Smith, I'm doing that.
ETN.
ETN, yeah, I'm
Doing
doing that. So
So you'd say still top 12, but I mean,
you
there's
have to put him in the top 12.
There's still a group of guys that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Running
I
back
mean-
is so bad right now. He's absolutely top 12.
yeah.
So I guess to answer your question, hold or sell. I'm probably just holding it. I mean, unless you get one of those guys, then you can sell. Actively targeting, yeah, we just answered. Eckler, we're targeting. David Montgomery, we're targeting a lot right now. Those are a couple guys, but appreciate the question. Let's jump up to Manicole here. Manicole says, so the person giving me Justin Jefferson is saying that the deal is non-negotiable. 24 first, 25 first, Swift and Addison for Justin Jefferson. Too much of an overpay? I want to know, did he say where his firsts were?
I do not believe so.
Hey, Manicole,
Let us know where your first,
where are those first
where you would
projected?
project those to be.
Like, and be conservative, but that's going to be a huge factor here. I'm fine. Like the 25 first Swift and Addison side, I'm very comfortable with that. And the 24 first makes it pretty much value even. If it's a mid to late
it's
first.
tough to overpay for Justin Jefferson.
If these firsts are mid late, I'm absolutely paying this. If they're early, I can't say that I would. Because again, you're talking about these early 24 firsts being top 3 round Dynasty startup picks, just like the 2023 ones were, but you have at least 3 guys that are going to be up there.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, that's
Marvin Harrison Jr. could be that's bold, but he could be the next.
I mean, pick
JJ.
wise,
But he's going to be a top 15 Dynasty pick as soon as he's in.
if you were
Yep.
to attribute these guys to
He said mid,
first,
probably.
mid, DeAndre Swift, he's worth a first right now. Jordan Addison probably worth at least a first and a second. So that's like at least 4 firsts for Justin Jefferson, who is a first round Dynasty starter.
I'm
pick.
taking Jefferson there.
I still think.
I think you're good, man.
I think that's fine.
I think you're good. Like, again, I think get Jefferson and then go for it. 25 is the own. Predict it will be mid to late. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with this, man. I think you'll look at this in a year and be like, oh, my gosh. I'm taking Jefferson.
Especially when Jefferson comes back, like Addison's upside is not sustainable. Like if he keeps playing really well while J. Jeff is out, good for him. But this is something where we predicted Addison would have a really, really productive year. But at the same time, we knew he would skyrocket in value, and we'd have to reevaluate what we thought about him in Dynasty long term after this season. I think this is going to be something where you see a lot of big, hefty prices to get Jordan Addison after what he's been doing. And I think we may get to a point eventually where Jordan Addison becomes a sell because of his situation.
You're selling high here on Swift and Addison too. I
Yeah.
like, and you're buying.
Yeah.
Like, when did you ever see? You've seen so many of these packages for Justin Jefferson in the last couple weeks. When has he ever even been moved? I've never seen Justin Jefferson be traded in Dynasty as much as he has been. So, I think it's taking JJF here. It's Justin Jefferson. Like,
It's,
the best. I mean, the best non-quarterback asset.
I mean, the fact that people are
Dynasty.
even trading JJF now to, I mean, he was next to Patrick Mahomes.
He asked if
he
he's going
was
to play this year.
legitimately untouchable.
I honestly
I
can't
don't think so.
definitively tell you that.
I think he plays.
I don't.
They
Now,
said 6 weeks. So,
they said as much as 6 weeks, right?
yeah. So I think he probably plays at the end of the year. Unless they suck, then maybe they just ride it out. And then
See,
they
I
just keep him on
think
the
I
bench.
think they're gonna suck.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they don't look good.
And then I just.
But
don't
what
think
if
there's
what
any
if they win the
incentive for
next
them to
what if
risk.
they win the next 2 games?
Then
You're looking at JJF having been out for 4 weeks, probably approaching a
Then
return
they're bringing him
very,
back
very
because
soon.
at that point they're 5-4.
If they win 2 games and they're pretty friendly matchups, I don't think that's asking a lot of the Vikings.
I think the odds favor him playing at least one more time. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
this year, at
No,
least
I
for
think
another stretch.
I think he plays this year. Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing We're doing Jefferson there, but great question, man. Cool. We appreciate your super chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for the discussion. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Let's jump back up. I think it was
Reggie
Reggie 2.
says,
Half PPR, start Rashee Rice or Chuba. Rashee Rice. They play the Broncos this week.
Yes.
Rasheed.
Yeah. Good question. Bargusta says the other guy's playing for the Chargers. That's
Yes.
exactly where he's at.
Yep.
Doesn't everybody know that?
You'll see him again in the off season.
Yeah, exactly.
Tune into press conference.
Yeah.
Right.
After they may or may not actually.
That's why the
lose to
Chargers press
Bears
conferences all have
because of-
domain logos in the background.
Right.
Dude, the fact that the Chargers could lose to the Bears.
You know
I'm
what?
not
You
talking
know what
about
I think the
this
funniest thing is about anytime someone references Simon, they never say his name. He's just
He's Herbert.
the other guy.
Or,
He's
yeah,
Justin
the other
Herbert, or he's where's the other guy?
Yeah, we missed the other guy. I miss Simon. Should I trade Justin
Baby,
Jefferson
come
and
back.
Stroud? Baby, come back. Justin Jefferson and CJ Stroud for Walker, Allen, and a 20. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Getting Josh Allen, I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Yep.
Oscar says Herbert Jr., and that's exactly where everybody's going with that. Mr. Sheeflas says, I was playing Spider-Man 2 on PS5, and I think Nate looks like Peter Parker. Can you imagine if Nathan was Spider-Man? Like, there'd be like a villain, and he'd see it on the news, and he'd be like,
What? What do you mean?
Yeah, like anytime there's any trouble, and you'd be like, oh my gosh.
Why would I be like that?
Isn't
That's
that-
just how you always are.
have you seen how it should have ended?
Just like-
Because that, I swear, that's like straight out of.
I haven't seen it.
Of like how it should have ended.
I haven't seen that one for him. But
I've gotten
Man, dude,
I've
I
gotten
gotta
a lot
go
of-
watch. I'm gonna have to find that.
I've got a lot of Barry Allen comps, like the TV show
Ooh,
Barry Allen.
Hey, we got a Devi question. Big Breakfast says Devi question,
Oh.
and we love Devi. Would you trade Waddle, Raheem Sanders, and Musgrave to get Lamb, Akers, and Ja'Cory Brooks?
Akers, throw Akers out of there. He's irrelevant.
True.
Um,
I think I'm probably taking the Waddle side there. I wanted to do a little bit of. I mean, so Ja'Cory Brooks is eligible this year, right? Is it next year? I can't remember. He was 2021. I'm probably going the Waddle side there. I would take that with a grain of salt because we don't play a lot of Devi.
well, it's tough with Raheem Sanders because
Yeah, I mean, because he's been a letdown this year.
yeah. Let me see. Let me dive into the efficiency here because
Let's-
I'm actually curious.
Let's keep going. Evan says there's a person in my league who keeps sending me offers for A-Chain and is always offering me Gibbs alone or as part of a package. Would you prefer A-Chain or Gibbs?
Is that a question?
No, it definitely is. Definitely is a question.
I'm still. Oh my gosh. I'm still gonna go Gibbs.
Wow.
Oh.
I think I think for one, I'd just hold A-Chain though,
Yeah.
because you don't want to make the 1-for-1 trade. Like,
Yeah.
just hold. You got the no, because market value that would be stupid to do right now. A-Chain's the higher market value. Go A-Chain. But personal rankings, I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know on either of those, honestly.
So there's not really much we can take from Sanders this year because he has been banged up. Only 34 rushing attempts, 91 yards, terrible average. Like
Yeah.
what the heck? He may lose his draft capital relevancy. Honestly, I don't want to overreact, but
I think he'll.
if that's the case, you want to just take the better wide receiver.
In Lamb,
I'm gonna go the Lamb side.
I don't have a problem with any of that. I think it's pretty close. And I also just don't know enough about.
There's just so much hype with Raheem Sanders going into this season that what he's done now, I'm like,
People are really low on
gross.
him.
As they should be. Like,
Mr. Shefloss says, by the way, I'd be having 2 picks in the first top 5 picks, and that was in response to his trade from earlier. And yeah, it was a crazy trade. Let's go to 2 Dynasty Dumpster Fire. Nice name. That's what Dynasty is right there.
Nice logo too.
Yep.
That looks nice.
In a 12-team Superflex PPR start, 9 Swift. Projected mid to late first, in Elijah Moore for Brees Hall. Competitive young team with most points in the league. Thoughts? I think you killed that trade. Good job. King of Sports says, should I trade Dubs? I have Reed already. Superflex, PPR, 0 and 7. Rebuilding 10-man league, start 10. And what should I be able to get him for if I trade him? Okay, get for him. Sorry. With Dubs, I don't think you're trading Dubs. I mean, let's look at Romeo Dubs on. I don't know where the frick Nathan just went. Let's look at Romeo
He said,
Dubs.
I can't breathe and went. And
Oh, so he's blowing his nose.
Yes.
Romeo Dubs is still the wide receiver 42. I think his upside's higher than that. I'm probably just gonna hold Dubs, honestly. That's my answer on that one. I'm probably just gonna hold Dubs there. Great question. Pater says Godwin's my wide receiver 4 and was offered Quentin Johnson and Mingo. No. Godwin, please. I wouldn't be buying into Quentin Johnston for somebody like Chris Godwin right now. I'd be going a lot lower than that. King of Sports says also want to trade Waller. What should I be able to get for him if I trade him? Oh man, I don't even know, man.
He just had a good
anything,
week, right?
anything you can. If you can get a, we've said this. We said this on the last live stream. If you can get a second for Darren Waller right now, I'm taking that 100%. He's tied in 13 on keep trade cut. I'm taking it. Like, try to get a second and then sell him. I'm totally cool with that. Let's see. We already answered this. So what do I do with QJ? I know I'm rebuilding, but his production is starting to concern me. Look, you can't sell Quentin Johnston right now. You'd be selling him super low. It's a bad time to sell him. He's going to flash at some point, and his value will go back up. And at that point, like, then if you don't believe in him, you'll sell him. But don't sell him now. Welcome back.
thanks, man. I couldn't breathe.
Jeez, you're disgusting. Dynasty Dumpfire gave us some context here and on his Breeze trade, but I think that no matter what, you're taking that trade. So Anthony says, love you guys. We love you, Anthony.
Oh, thanks, man.
10-team PPR, 3 and 4. You got Bijan, Barkley, Pollard, Spears. Oh, wow, dang, you got a good team. Who should I trade, and should it be for Adams or Eckler? Both. Trade Spears. Trade Addison. See if you can get like Addison and Spears and Pollard for Adams and Eckler. If you're just going to go Eckler, see if you can do like Addison for Eckler straight up. Would you take Eckler there on a contending team? I would.
Yeah.
That's what I would be doing. Anthony, we appreciate you, my friend.
Yep.
Let's see. Gibbs in a third for Puka. Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Frick, if you can do that, absolutely.
Puka.
Zizayan says start 2, Jacoby Myers, Olave, Pittman, Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin. Jacoby Myers. And, well, no. Probably Olave against the Colts. And Devonta. I'm doing Jacoby Myers and Olave. Who are you going? There's some good wide receivers there.
Start 2?
Yeah.
I'm going Olave and Devontae Smith. Seriously? You're starting Jacoby Myers over Devontae Smith.
I'm as comfortable. I mean, Jacoby Myers has outproduced him this year by quite a lot. Like, I don't think it's that far-fetched, right?
How did Devontae Smith do against Washington last time? I think he put up 18.
I don't remember. I'll have to check. And the other thing is the Commanders, they've been kind of hit and miss their secondary this year. Let me look at what they did the first game, because maybe I'd go Devonta Smith there. I mean, again, like, I think Devonta Smith and Jacoby Myers are like same tier, so it's hard for me to pick.
I mean, Myers has been a bit hit or miss as well, depending on the health of Jimmy G.
He had 14, but Devonta Smith's last game, 1 point, 9 points, 8 points. So
yeah.
I don't blame you if you go Myers there. I tend to start my studs, so that would be Devonta Smith, so I don't blame you either way. Running back room of Cook, Pacheco, Pierce, Connor, Algier, and Hubbard. 3 and 4. Who should I target? Buy low because my confidence in my core is kind of shot. That's a good question. I like Pacheco there, but yeah, the rest of those guys have been pretty disappointing. David Montgomery, I like. Austin Eckler, I like. Josh Jacobs, I like. Okay. Gone completely. Yeah, those are some guys there. Let's do, what trades can I do to free up any wide receivers? Free up my wide receivers. CJ Stroud, running backs, Kamara, Pollard, wide receivers, Olave and Devonta Smith, tight end, Laporta, flex, Bijan, bench, McLaurin, Jacoby Myers, Pittman, and Debo. Go ahead, Nathan.
Free up my wide receivers. You're talking about the free up my wide receivers one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was worried about the frames. If you're looking to free them up, let's package Jacoby Myers and Terry McLaurin. There's at the receiver position, you're not moving off of Olave and Devonta Smith. You're not moving off of Pittman or Debo because they're both valued too low. McLaurin's been doing really well. Maybe someone will be able to bite on that because he does have nice contract insulation. Jacoby Myers, we like him, think he's a fine value right now. But overall, if you can package them together with another receiver and get a higher-end running back or something like that, then I would do that.
9-5 record in 2 leagues with league medians. Both leagues have 13-1, 12-2 team. How do I approach a league with a dominant team? Teams, my mindset is to get in the playoffs and have a chance. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You just keep in mind that that team could easily just have a bad week and you could win. It doesn't really matter. Just try to make it in the playoffs. Anakin Women and the Children to Skywalker.
Yes.
Our favorite. Says, I know this isn't the fantasy live stream yet, but you best believe I'm here, boys. Dude, we're glad you're here, man.
We'll be back on the fantasy live stream.
We will, if our Wi-Fi doesn't poop out.
7 p.m.
Yes.
Oh, also, you Dynasty fans, we're releasing our Dynasty video right after this as well. So.
Yep. Kelsey, Pollard, Rashad White, 24 third. For Pitts, Montgomery, Burks, 25 first, and 3 firsts. Wow. I'm taking the first side for sure. Pitts and yeah.
Yep.
Worried about Stafford and more McVay leaving for that Puka deal? No, don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Take the Puka.
Yep.
Gears Gunner says Dynasty Superflex tight end premium start 11, 12 teams. Trade away Jonnu Smith, Swift, and a third for Kelsey. As a contender, you killed it, man. You killed it, my friend.
Yep.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here. We got a fantasy live stream later. So,
do you have the thumbnail up for the video? I'll release it now if you do.
We're going to release it in about 2 minutes. I got to get the thumbnail done. So,
Cool.
Dynasty video coming out right after this. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We have fun. Make sure, like I said, you drop a like before you leave. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you are subscribed as well if you play Dynasty. We really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Friday. Peace out.